Hello, hello, Max. Max, can you hear me? Max, can you hear?
Yes.
Oh, great. So I always check with the sound. So hello, everybody. How you going, Max? How you going?
Oh, I'm going fine.
It's
I'm just-
it's wonderful to see you. We can't manage without you, Max. So good morning, everybody. We are thrilled to see you. So Damien, tell us the update from your brilliant location. What's been happening now? Are you all right?
Yeah, doing well. Just soldiering on with working through supervisor feedback and cutting 6,000 words.
I'm still there. Oh, mate.
It's almost done. I'm up to the last section.
Are you really? And how have you done it, mate? Have you done it word at a time in each sentence?
Uh, the bulk of it came out with, I had this kind of setup that said, this is what development commissioning is. And I've been able to load a bit of that into my first section and then take most of it out. And so that's kind of, it's gone from 1,000 words to about half a paragraph.
Oh, mate, and as we talked about last week, you're then going to cut that up and that's going to be its own special little
Yeah.
spectacular separate piece. That is fantastic, Damien. Well, colleagues, welcome, welcome, welcome. Beautiful Sonia's in. Oh, Sonia, the glamour of you, the glamour. We cannot manage without you. Good morning, Sonia.
Good morning. How is everyone?
Better for seeing you. Gorgeous one. Look at that hair. I'm aiming for that hair. By my next birthday, that's the hair I'm going for. That's fantastic. So oh, you're a star, Son. So, colleagues, just so you know, this is our last Right Club in its current configuration. I have resigned from Charles Darwin University, so but we will see each other down the road. Things will occur in new and interesting ways. So, Max, you're never getting rid of me, Max. You are never getting rid of me. So, this is our 52nd Right Club, and I think there are people on this call that have been with us for the whole 52. So I'm so grateful that you're all with us. It's tremendous. So Damien, let's see, as a favour to your old goth dean, if we can this week get that 6,000 out for our last Right Club. So colleagues, let's go for it. I'll see you in 29 minutes. Knock yourself out. Good luck, everybody. Let's do it. Nor, we're with you, beautiful. Come on, gorgeous. We got you. We got you, sweetheart. Last minute, colleagues. And we are finished, colleagues. Yay! And look, we'll start with the light of our lives. Max. What happened, Max? What fabulousness were you writing on this week, Max?
I was writing some follow-up emails from a seminar that I attended for the last month. It was about RPPs, and it was very exciting to learn about.
That is amazing. And what, so you're writing emails to everybody, thanking them for being a part of the process, and
Yeah.
she drinks her water and she gets on with her life. Max, you are an amazing human being, Max.
Oh, thank you.
You are very precious, and keep writing, Max. You are spectacular. We can't manage without you, Max. You're stuck with me on Twitter. Should we move to the other light of our lives, all the fabulous humans, the wonderful Sonia? Now, Sonia, I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. What were you writing on, Son?
I was actually reviewing a white paper that I'm putting together with a team. So I've been leading a white paper on socialized models of leadership. And
Interesting.
so yeah, I've just got to put it all together and then put it in for submission and publication or publishing with the particular group. So yes.
Now I'm fascinated by this. So is this bottom-up renderings of leadership, Son? This is community engaged models of literacy,
Yeah.
beyond transactional models of leadership. Talk to us.
Yeah, it's actually, quite typically we find, so I work in the homelessness sector, street health and inclusion, and we have a biomedical model that's funded in Australia of healthcare, which is awesome, but it's only one piece of the puzzle when we're dealing with vulnerable people. So the whole socialized model of healthcare, the equity space where we have to sit and listen and spend the time and hold space and understand people's social determinants of health isn't well funded, and it isn't really recognized. So for me, it's just starting the journey and having the support of peak nursing bodies to start saying this is how we need to lead when we're caring for others too. So we do well in Australia with our biomedical model. It's amazing, but we're missing an entire section. So it's having advocacy, and it's also what I'm leaning towards in relation to my eventual PhD. So, yeah,
Well,
it's all bottom-up work.
All of this will be in the appendices of your PhD, Son. So this is terrific. Yeah. And Liam, I'll just introduce you to Sonia. Find Sonia on LinkedIn. Liam, we'll go to Liam in 1 second, but Sonia, Liam, Sonia. Sonia's work that she's doing, Liam, is astounding, and I'm just holding on and helping Sonia because she's going to change this country. She's going to change how we think about health leadership and community health leadership. So Son, you are legendary. So we're all going to be finding Son. We love you, Son. Should we go to now? Here we go, Damien. Hashtag no pressure. Look, he's still looking, doing the count. You could see he was looking down, doing the count. What happened, Damien? What happened?
Progress. It's still too long, but I've sort of gotten to the end of all the supervisor notes, and now I'm going to go back through, and there are a few sections I kind of earmarked and said, am I repeating too much there from earlier? Like, can I make this a one sentence instead of a whole paragraph? So I'm going to go now, do all of those and see what that does.
Oh, Damien, I'm so sorry. And look, for articles and so forth, pithy is useful and not having that repetition. But can I say in theses themselves, people often say, oh, look, should we have repetition? it can be useful because it makes the point in 100,000 words. You know, the assumption that an examiner will remember something on page 57, you're dreaming, girlfriend, you're dreaming, right? So,
Yeah.
so in a thesis itself, repetition is not the problem that people talk about, I reckon.
Yeah, and it is the kind of reminder of things like, as the things that changed in Australian television around the kind of ratings-based model and how they sort of measure success. And sort of I have to keep coming back to that to support the point I'm making of why this period is interesting and why, like, what I'm showing, it relates to ratings and perceptions of success and perceptions of risk in the industry, which is, yeah.
Yeah, and look, Damien, you talked about it last week and the week before that you've now configured this iteration of these sections in the thesis that you return to. I think we talked about last week, didn't we? Simple structure, complicated
Yeah.
content. And so that seems to be working beautifully for you, mate.
Yeah, it feels really close. And I think wherever I get it today, it'll go back to supervisors and that'll be like their turn to have another look. And I'll keep forging forward with the later chapters, which are much simpler because there was clearer sort of boundaries to those chapters that look at more defined processes.
You are fantastic, Damien. We are with you always. And look, we'll go to Liam, who's just met Sonia. Sonia, Liam, Sonia. Now, Liam, tell us fabulous things. Obviously, your article has just gone fantastically that we talked about a few weeks ago. But what are you working on now, mate?
So I'm having to work on the follow-up stuff from my PhD. So I've recently seen some fellowships advertised at another institution, which I'm ineligible for, because I've had an open-ended permanent post. So that's fine. But the person who was a contact is interested in working with me on a Research Council funded grant, which might bring me back to an institution where I used to work a long time ago. But they said, although my research interest is directly relevant, it's not business school enough.
Sorry.
I know.
Trying to hold myself together. I felt my pancreas eat my small intestine there, Liam. Something happened with my internal organs when you said that. It's not business school enough. What? So
yeah,
we need to work for the Royal Bank of Scotland. What's business enough, right? Jeez.
I know. Is it like greed is good? Like where are we going with this? So yeah, I'm trying to work that one out. So I've said to this colleague, let's have a chat and let's see what we come up with, and see if I'm business enough, by the end of this conversation. I think my idea with business is slightly different than theirs. But anyway, I digress. I'm also looking at an application form for something SL related, but somewhere else, because the other light of our lives, Alison, has warned some people that I might, hot foot it somewhere else. So who knows what's going to happen with me? I'll be the second enigma of the day, maybe. I don't know.
Everything crossed, but you can do anything, Liam. Always remember that you can do anything. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you always can. Should we go to the People's Republic of Western Australia, to the legendary Emma, the glamour of our lives? So Emma, good morning. Now, what were you writing on this morning, my queen? Oh, sound sweetness.
Yes, slightly embarrassing what I was writing about, but that was kind of the point. I'm writing about the different ways you can get information with people, and sometimes in partnership, and going over my history of it and how I learned. And I was writing about when I got trained to do interviewing first, very positivist, and I was sent out onto the streets of the town where I lived to intercept people to ask them about feminine hygiene products. And the point, as the trainer explained, is you cannot let any personal feelings like embarrassment change. You must ask things word for word, be very consistent, no emotion, and this is your great test. And I've had to unlearn that for the one that I'm doing now, which is not constructivist. I've also done constructivist, which is about letting people's voices come out, building rapport. I've done forensic interviewing about getting to the truth of things with witnesses, victims, sometimes perpetrators. and all of those getting combined into the type that I now do the realist interview. So explaining how I did that, and I was on the feminine hygiene section when this morning, so.
Oh, look, I'm quite obsessed about asking questions about feminine hygiene. I saw Kylie's face. Gee, they would be interesting interviews, wouldn't they?
No, they were awful. They were horrible. I was a young woman at the time, and I was asking men about this, and all to teach me be objective, neutrality, no emotion.
I think
It was
that does a
horrible.
great service to the planet, to be honest, Emma. I think I'm going to be thinking about carrying that forward in my life, I think. Emma, you're magnificent. But can I say, Piper will watch this later on. Piper's doing her first interview on Wednesday. Piper, what Emma just said there, incredibly useful. Think about the modalities, because she's particularly doing very long, large-scale oral history interviewing and getting her into the listening space and the empathic space and the opening out space will make a real difference. So Emma, thank you for that.
No worry.
As always, you will change the world with this. And speaking of our other favourite Red Queen, although less red than the old days. The Kyles is in the house now. Kyles, I'm excited. What were you writing on, Kyles?
Oh, it was just living the dream, getting into it. Learning theory. Because I had a bit of epiphany that I was talking about how do people learn and how do we support learners, and I thought I don't really talk, even in a section, about what it is. So I've been doing a lot of reading this week, and I'm going to say this wrong. Andragogy,
rock and roll girlfriend.
Model, and Fink's taxonomy. So yes. So I thought we'd need to smush that in there somewhere.
Yeah, we'll smush that in there somewhere. And thinking of bottom-up models to community.
Don't say Bloom. Don't say Bloom.
No,
Don't agree with Bloom. Good.
I'm just going to give you a phrase that might be useful, particularly for your stuff on educational theory, and that is communication informatics. It's an old-fashioned phrase. But that may be the frame that, because obviously learning theory is, I mean, you know, we've been doing this for 170 years, right? So we can start somewhere and we'll finish somewhere else. But if we can find a bucket for you to hold them into that links directly to the thesis, that's maybe.
I like that.
Try community informatics. We'll talk about it, Kyles, but that could be the first bucket to sit in.
Yeah, but again, it's a topic I've had little bits of it. I've had my daughter talk about Bloom when they were learning about it in year 3, but it's interesting because you go, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Look, learning theory. I mean, I love learning theory, but it's highly politicized at the moment too. So that's the challenge. But Kyles, that's brilliant. So look, we'll talk about that through the afternoon, Kyles.
That would be lovely.
We'll send each other secret messages through the afternoon on community informatics. My goodness me. Because Liam, we did a lot of that work, of course, at Brighton. Brighton was the place where we did a lot of community informatics. So it's a bit of a sorry, Liam.
I was going to bring up people from the arts sector in Manchester are wanting to know more about Northern Soul, all sorts of, like, you came up in conversation and I kind of, you know, with Jenna, who's a community arts activist. So you keep popping up in places where I don't expect you to pop up.
Yeah, look, my second job at Viva Rock Vegas, a place called Rockhampton, Liam, don't go there. It's the beef capital of Australia. Lots of big, do I do the joke, Kyle? Should I do the joke? So when you, at every entrance and exit of Rockhampton, there is a very, very large statue of a bull. And because there's not a lot to do in Viva Rock Vegas, the young lads every Friday night rip off the grapefruits of the bull. And so there's a whole budget line of the Rockhampton City Council that is bull replacement. But can I say, so that was my second job, but I taught community arts, and I loved, you know, regional universities exist to talk about community arts and so forth, and we don't do that as much as we used to. But yeah, that was like about the 5th course I taught, Liam, in my career. So wonderful area, and I would love community arts to come back. It sort of was a 90s thing. I would love it to come back, Liam. Rock and roll, brother. Oh, fantastic. So here we go, Kyles, to the wonderful Gay, who is continuing to win all the awards on planet Earth. So, Gay, what were you writing on this week, superstar?
I am trying to find out that there is a big development plan a couple of kilometers away from me, which is completely wrecking the topography of the place. I mean, this is a floodplain, and they're building 30,000 homes on it, and it's absolutely nuts. I am trying to find anything on the developers or the councils or the government's websites about sustainability. There ain't none.
That's brilliant.
That's what I was trying to do. I have another question, Tara. You said that you might be able to find a place where I could publish
Mhm.
on the hyperbaric oxygen chamber for my dogs.
Oh, yes.
You
Yes.
ever-
I've found a couple of options for you. I did that, I think, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'll send them through to you, Gay, and see what's useful. But yeah, again, it's more about community and animal care. It's not quite vet and it's not quite animal husbandry, but I think I found a couple. See how we go. They're more professional journals, Gay, but
Okay.
we'll try. I'll send them to see if they fit.
Thank you.
And good on you, mate. And I tell you what, sustainability, my argument from 10 years ago, Gay, is that because we never really did the proper hard yakka definitional work on sustainability, we're in the mess that we are now. If we'd actually really made it concrete and clear, what does sustainability mean? We would have got some of the ideology out, and probably the world would be in a different place now. But good on you for going there, Gay.
Well, I just started a diploma in sustainability, and it's absolutely mind-blowing.
Brilliant. It's so important. It's so important. And Jamie Quinton, I hope you heard that about the course that you're currently writing as well. Excellent. To the wonderful City. Now, City, what were you writing on? I always get excited every week. What happened to you, my darling?
So I came to Write Club because I last week I joined a thesis clinic writing, and it was about how to use theory in the thesis. And I came with kind of 3 questions that I want to bang out in Write Club, which is 1, what is the best way to communicate ontology and epistemology? Second is, what is the best way to justify choices of what lens you have? And third is how theory should be constructed in a legal thesis. And you know, while I didn't find the words on paper, but kind of like in that 30 minutes of silence, I think I kind of worked it out. And I was thinking about these questions since 5 a.m. this morning. I used to think that structure was my problem. Because what would happen is that I would have a chapterization, but when I start writing, the chapter goes completely out the window, and I end up with 50 pieces of different angles. And I think my problem was more I didn't decide and do that groundwork of what lens that I want to put it in. And the problem was, like, I've been putting the problem in work because I was having trouble fitting it in the lens, and it's a disciplinary problem because positivism is so intrinsic inside the legal field. Seeing beyond that is hard. And when I was writing, I would find that I would have that positive lens, but end up with a constructivist conclusion, which is completely mind-boggling. And I realize I'm using the wrong approach to write, and that's what's disrupting my structure.
Well, I
So I
think
kind of figured that out in 30 minutes.
I think you're doing brilliantly. And the thing about law in particular, black letter law specifically, is disciplines are strong. You know, people talk about interdisciplinarity, City, and often they're not doing the hard yakka work. You know, they go, I'm interdisciplinary. Well, are you, mate? Well, are you? What does it mean? And the point is, you've got to be disciplinary before you can be interdisciplinary. But then the second problem is disciplines are like magnets. And unless we really, really keep walking against the polarity, it will draw us back. And law is one of those disciplines, particularly black letter law, is one of those disciplines that it's so powerful, it will pull you back. So trying to sit and stay in law in context or socio-legal studies is challenging. But can I just say to you, you do many brilliant things, but you've changed my life this morning, because the question you asked, how do you justify your choices? If every PhD student, every researcher asked themselves that question, at the start, the middle, and the end of their research would be enhanced and improved. That is the crucial question, Sita.
The question kind of scares me because the more I read philosophy, I feel like it's changing the entire tone of my thesis. But I also feel like, you know, the nature of philosophy, it can get a bit disconnected from reality. So I'm worried that, you know, my initial structure that I planned, like over the weekend, I was able to plan out my abstract from A to Z. I could see the end and the tail, which I couldn't be, but it's more a policy recommendations of 1, 2, 3. And I'm kind of thinking, did I really structure out my thesis structure, or is it just a small snippet of a paper that I've structured out? My thesis is kind of like part of a bigger picture, which is unexplored, which I don't think policy people would want to hear about because no one wants to hear about, you know, philosophy, but it's an area which is so underexplored and important that it might be how
Sita,
my thesis might turn out.
you,
Yeah.
you write that and the audience will find you.
Yeah.
The audience will
Okay.
find you. And remember, and you gave me that wonderful email about you'd read Steve's wonderful book, Theoretical Times. Remember, he came from Manchester, black letter law, darling, and ended up being basically the person that started Law in Context, socio-legal studies, and ended up his last book that was published 2 weeks before he died was Theoretical Times, helping people understand how jurisprudence in particular is transformative for how we think about law in context. So you can do this. I believe in you completely. You're a brilliant, brilliant woman. All right. Good on you, superstar. And look who's next on our list. The legend that is Noor, our light of our lives. Good morning, Noor. We love you, Noor. We love you. There's Kylie going, we love you. We love you. We love you. How are you? What were you writing on, beautiful?
I'm sorry.
What were you writing on, beautiful queen of the universe? Oh, sweetheart, what's happening? Oh, darling girl. Oh,
Yes, my eyes are bumped.
Sweetheart. Oh, my
I don't know. My eyes are puppies. I was shocked when I received the email, maybe all of you today. And Tara, thank you so much. Before I describe what I did for 29 minutes previously, but in person, I would like, on behalf of my family also, thank you so much for supporting my initial journey in CDU. Thank you so much.
You're so precious to us, my darling.
I'm sorry, everyone.
No, darling, no.
Yes, it's so.
Oh, sweetheart.
Yes. I hope that there's a miracle from God and God bring you, come back to CDU and support us. I pray for all of night starting today for you and for us.
Oh, sweet.
I received some message that support you, that asking me, it is true or not? And I said, yes, I think yes, because I'm in the writing club now. And she said that she's leaving now and we are so sad.
Oh,
my friend said, yes.
Sweetheart, I'm not
Yes.
I'm not dead. I'm not dead, and you can keep in touch
Yeah,
with me forever.
course,
And we'll find other ways of finding each other. Okay, I walk with you forever, Angel, forever.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, of course. Yes.
You're very precious to me, sweetheart. All right.
You too. You're the most important thing for us. Thank you so much and support us. And because of you, I'm here. I'm staying here. Thank you so much.
Well, and darling, your research is going magnificently. Please
Yes,
always
yes.
remember how great
Thank
you
you.
are. And the
Yes.
research is, you've turned a corner on the research, darling. You're doing amazing things.
Yeah, I also want to tell you that I have submitted my ethics. Yes. And also no, for a week I wrote up many papers and journal to find some assumptions that may be can be like a source of I would like to challenge some assumptions about gender relations and livelihood and resilience studies. That's why I read all of the messy thing, but it's really beneficial for me to find my way. And then I did like you always say that right up, you know, as YouTube, it's about sentence, and it's pop up my mind. Okay, you have to start to write it, stop it to read it, and write it down. And then I have read it everything, 245 words about intense depth and breadth. So I found some ideas that my research is more look at the gender as an object and epistemology. And also the level of analysis is more on household level, even though there's some analysis on agency, but still reflect on the household level.
Oh,
And yes.
darling one, that is, you keep doing that. That is transformative for women, not only in Indonesia, that is transformative for women around the world in and around agriculture. You will change the world, beautiful girl.
Thank you.
You are wonderful. Hang in there. Remember, I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I'm not dying. I'm not dead.
I'm so sad. I'm sorry. I think
you're precious. You're
everyone here must be in my page. I mean, we are on the same page. We are shocked and we are sad. Because, yeah. Speechless, I love you. Love you. I would like to give you many love today.
You taught me how to do that. I didn't know how to do that before I met you, beautiful one. You superstar. We love you, darling one. We've probably got room for 2 more wonderful humans to talk to us. And look, I will go to the wonderful Caroline, who I've had so many incredible experiences with early in the morning and interesting phone calls. Caroline, we've done well, mate, haven't we? So how are you going, superstar?
Oh, pretty good, thanks, Tara. And my thoughts are with you. And so nice to be here today with everybody. I'm really at the very end of responding to the examiners for my thesis. And the plan is by Mother's Day next week, next Sunday, I'm going to be cracking my Chandon champagne and not doing any of this for a while and just rejoicing in completion. So, you know, hopefully that will be the case. And I was just writing a section before that is to link and rationalize why my chapter 7 is pretty much a literature review, which in standard or classic formats of thesis is unusual. And so I'm just trying to get that across, standing my ground. And I've sent it off to my principal supervisor just to get a double check from him. And hopefully then it's only minor amendments after that and I'm done.
Oh, well,
so
Caroline,
you can all do this. I've got to tell you, I left school in year 10. I was a sole parent at the age of 21. And when you get these things in your mind, these things that you feel like you want to do that, you really want to do it, and you just have a go at it. A lot of effort, but you can do it. And I know this because here I am, but it doesn't matter where you come from. If the passion's there and the interest is there, it's entirely possible. I heard you using that. Everything's possible.
Now,
so all the best to everyone.
So what a way to end Right Club, colleagues. My goodness me. Believing, building community, bottom-up leadership from our Sonia, changing the world, one sentence, one idea, one human at a time. And remembering our beautiful cities line today, write it, have the courage to write, and the audience will find you. Colleagues, I will see you down the road.
Thank you for everything, Tara.
Thank you, Tara.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.